building this facility, the building and also the planning of this whole activity. And now we have equipped it fully with all the computational systems, software, the people, the display, the analytical capabilities, and we are inaugurating IS40M, which is going to be very, very important for us for guaranteeing or safeguarding our assets. But this is only a first step towards this program. We need to have our own data and our own observations of all the space objects, including ours and others, and we need to contribute to the global effort for handling space objects, handling and sustainable space activities. Towards this is the first step, and it is a very major step as a leading spacefaring nation. We have to enter into this activity and then make it work for long years of time, very consistently, steadily, by strengthening the capability of our manpower, analytical capability, and equipments and tools and ground-based facilities. So, thank you for this opportunity. I also thank our former chairman, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Dr. Kumar, and Dr. Shivan for gracing this occasion, and also the entire ISRO family. With this, let me request our Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh to address our community on this happiest occasion. Thank you, sir.
When we are used that of the inner space. It's extremely camera actually. Sonath and all the veterans and past chairmen, one of our senior most, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Dr. Kiran, Dr. Sivan, the members of fraternity. At the outset, I must say that I feel good being amongst you because I wish I could visit you more frequently. But since I am doing so much of multitasking, it becomes difficult. Even this program had to be deferred twice. And yesterday till late evening I was in Uttar Pradesh and we were to apply for the president election. But I said this time I'm not going to miss it whatever because, and it's also because it's for our own learning, and unless we are updated about what is happening amongst us, we will not be able to share it with those who have a stake. As we went around and saw so many people taking interest in spite of the limited exposure of the activities happening here in the public domain. So each time when I come across a new milestone being made by the Department of Space at ISRO, it always reminds me of the amazing journey that ISRO has led, beginning from a very primitive initiation when Sarabhai and colleagues had started off. I think the Soviet Union and the USA were already on the verge of landing on moon, and the nation was singing nursery rhymes about moon. But now the other day, in fact, I was telling in the parliament and they felt quite amused when I said that the US was the first to land a human being on the surface of Earth, on the surface of moon. And BBC had picturized that visual when Neil Armstrong went around. And he made that famous statement which is now become quite iconic. He said, one small step for man and a giant step for mankind. So I said at the parliament, I said Neil Armstrong walked around, but he could not see the presence of water. It was many years later, our Chandrayaan went and picked up pictures. So that is how India's space scientists and our space endeavors have taken over or almost equally. Other than now, of course, next 2 years are going to be very eventful. We have Gaganyaan coming out, and before that, yesterday in a small town of Uttar Pradesh called Moradabad. And that also speaks about how much more we need to actually educate people. So a couple of journalists came to me and asked me that we believe we are going to send up a woman scientist, woman astronaut by this year end. I said she would be a woman, but not like many of you women that you are here. She's going to be a woman robo. But yet the curiosity is so much, they wish to know, and they are not fully or adequately informed. So we will sit down and also find out the means of dispensing with the information which is which can be permissibly put in public domain. And luckily, ever since Prime Minister Modi has taken over, there has been a special activities. I believe we will be recalled within a few days of his being sworn in. We were here with Dr. for that PS will be launched. And then again for the Mongolian. So ever since then, he's been personally, repeatedly visiting, repeatedly keeping a track. And I think it's because of the determination and the resolve of the political leadership that we have been able to, what the media fancifully described as the unlocking of the space. And I was the other day discussing that almost 60 startups have already registered ever since this unlocking happened. So that's a huge bit. So that also gives us an inkling that how much the talent and potential was waiting to happen. But we had kept them away because we were bound by the taboos of the past. But for the first time, we have a political leadership which has the capacity to take decisions out of box, which has the capacity to break the taboos of the past. And I think we should be making the best of it. And with the kind of ISRO startups the other day, I asked you to send me a note and I was fascinated. Nano satellites, debris. These youngsters are working in space debris, which is almost a very newly upcoming area. So I think we have abundant talent which was waiting to be standby, and thanks to the Honorable Prime Minister, he's given us an opportunity. Not only the private players are now coming in, but the budget has also been increased. Only recently in the cabinet, a note was moved for transferring the assets to the New Space India Limited, those 10, I think, orbit satellites. So they have also become quite rich now, and maybe an object of envy for others. And while we are now lesser to nobody as far as our space achievements are concerned, I think in certain areas we are also dropping cues for others to follow. So that is something which should be very encouraging, but also motivating for all of us, and also for the young scientific minds, being one step ahead of the others. And the facility today, as was being mentioned, the space-based assets, of course, have an essential role. We can't do without them. They play a pivotal role. But it's like having a traffic jam happening in this space. So earlier on, we had traffic jam only in the roads of Bengaluru. Now you will also have on the skies of Bengaluru. So I'm glad that really this center has started thinking of that. So whenever you hold an exhibition or a public lecture for students, you can tell them in easy terms by beginning to tell them that just as you, while reaching this center, you had to come across a traffic jam. There might be a traffic jam up also. That's what we are dealing with. And that could be debris, because there will be vehicles which are met with accidents, spare parts moving here and there, so you could hit upon any good thing. So I think that's an easy way of also we could make some illustrations and tell them. Because they were growing population of these space objects, which of course is inevitable. I was amazed when I was being told that 1957 just 2, and now 25,000 more than that. So this is going to be an ever increasing, and of course the associated risks of collision, etc., which could be a potential risk. And the other day, Somnath he told me that 2 Chinese debris contents have been noticed in Gujarat and Rajasthan. So I said, why only Chinese? Then he told me, because the number of Chinese launchings have increased. I thought maybe like Chinese pen and Chinese computers, maybe lesser quality, easily friable. So they, as the Chinese computer breaks down little earlier than expected. But nevertheless, on a serious note, of course, I am glad that we are among the first, and we have very timely launched this long-term sustainability outer space activities concerned, and both the space situational awareness and the space traffic management. And as Dr. Jitendra was saying, that we have sensors now down below also. So I think we are at multiple levels trying to address this issue. And once once again I compliment you, and before I conclude, as the Prime Minister has been often reminding us of the algorithm also the next 25 years. And I have always been saying that because the projections are that in the next 25 years India will be at the top. We are going to explore areas which have been made hitherto and explored, whether it's the agriculture sector, the bamboo sector, the aroma mission, which one of our sister organizations is launched, the CSIR, the ocean, the huge assets, the seabed. But in spite of that, I always say that when India reaches the top, the ascent would have been led by ISRO. So I'm sure, and therefore, those of the scientific fraternity who have at least next 25 active years to put in will have this privilege. So when India celebrates its 100 years in 2047, you will be the ones who will be credited. And I'm sure you will not say, the world will say, that India has reached the top primarily because of the contribution made by its space sector in ISRO. So that's going to be a moment of pride for those of us who are around at that time, and I'm sure many of you will be. Thank you.
Sustainability and long-term protection, and this facility will be making use of the data which is available through our own system as well as the global data providers, and this data will be used for making predictions on how our satellites evolve, how our launches are to be done, how to prevent collisions, how rocket mode is land back, and how to predict them, and ultimately secure the entire space assets for us. So this is a small beginning, but we have to go a long way in creating the capability within India. After having created rockets and satellites, we need to have our own mechanism by which we can protect our assets. This is going to be a long-drawn process. It has also not only civilian application but also very critical strategic importance. Considering this, our Honorable Minister has agreed to come here and inaugurate this facility. I thank you, sir, for being with us today. So today we have plus people, they would like to interact with you on this facility, maybe other topics also. So we will limit that interaction for short time because his flight was also late. So we would like to do fast and only few.
And for that, I'm sure the friends would excuse me because we come with certain set of questions which are outside the domain of the outer space, because today we are dealing only with the outer space, not the inner space. So the inner space issues can be left for some other occasion. And as far as the outer space is concerned, I'm glad I must compliment ISRO to begin with. Mr. Somanath and his team and all the veterans who have preceded him, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Kiran Kumar, Dr. Siv was also there, and the entire fraternity. I think what is remarkable is the amazing journey that ISRO and the department faces there, and that's precisely what I was telling them. Sometimes it doesn't occur to us because we are so much occupied by the inner space issues, who will use whom and who will fly out. But we don't tend to realize where we began and where we have reached. When Sarabhai and his colleagues started off, Soviet Union and the USA were already on the verge of landing on the surface of the moon, and over here we were there singing nursery rhymes related to moon. And that's what I said the other day. You just could remember that Neil Armstrong, when he landed there, BBC recorded a visual that he went around at a small stroll, and he said, small step for man, a giant step for mankind. But it was only there, Chandrayaan, which went many years later and spotted water, the presence of water which Neil Armstrong had not seen with the naked eye. So that is the kind of potential and capability and capacity that the Indian scientific fraternity has. And particularly so, I think what is worth noting is that Prime Minister Modi has broken some of the taboos of the past, which has been popularly described as the unlocking of the space sector. For several long decades, it was a field of secrecy behind which most of the work happened. When I came here for the first time in 2014, and Dr. Radhakrishnan took me to the launch in the middle of night, I told him, Radha, one thing I learned today is that either you have to be as eminent a scientist as Radhakrishnan, or somehow manage to become a minister in space. That's why keep it close, because now we have been vindicated. Just about 2 years or less than that, Prime Minister allowed unlocking of this sector, and we have as many as 60 startups This is something I think you friends need to propagate wider so that it works. And we have these startups from the younger age group, 16, 17, 18, 20 years, and coming from all parts of the country. Whereas space work was mostly now known in the southern space. Now we have youngsters coming from Punjab, from Jammu, that small Sikh boy. So that is a huge lot of talent which was waiting to happen. But we had not facilitated that. So I think must profusely thank Prime Minister Modi for having, broken this jinx. And the new Space India Limited, which is another commercial arm or whatever you say, has also been, provided with additional assets through the cabinet decision which happened just for 2 months back. Or even less than that. Some of the orbits satellites have been transferred to them as their assets. And today's facility again, of late you would have realized that we are not behind any other space agency of the world or the country. And sometimes we are also dropping cues for others, like our Mangalyaan is. Many of our inputs are now being procured by NASA. So similarly, today we have addressed an issue which is an emerging issue, not only for the space, but I'm sure just as you journalists guys are occupied by other political issues, tomorrow you will be occupied with this issue of a much big proportion, the issue of space traffic happening. Like traffic jam on the road leading to the center, you have a traffic jam up there. And if you go and see the screen inside, you realize how many satellites hovering over India and their debris, which could sometimes lead to risky situations also, even collision situations. So how to detect them, how to forestall them, how to clean them, how to capture them. That is going to be the next concern for all those who are dealing with this area. And even for those who are not actively involved in the space sector, but they will be influenced by the space debris, because debris will be there even over the countries who are not actually involved in the space ventures. And therefore, I'm glad that we have made this first of this kind of initiative here by launching this new facility for sustainable space sector use, and which will of course deal with space awareness and at the same time space traffic management. So I think that's a very sensible term for you. It's no longer road traffic management, it's space traffic management, which India actually has embarked on. So I think that should also reinforce our confidence, our pride in our capability, our capacity. And when we have a political leadership led by PM Modi, who has given us a free hand to move on, I think this is one of the best times happening. And we were just discussing that we try to make it more open for the common public so that you get to know, to see what is happening actually. And that will be motivational for the others also who might have the talent or the potential to do so, but they may not actually realize that they are capable of doing so. So that kind of mentorship is also now available. आज की उपलब्धियों से बात करने से पहले मैं चाहूँगा एक क्षण आप अपना ध्यान करें कि किस तरह की ये यात्रा रही है, उपलब्धि से भरी हुई और गर्वमयी यात्रा। जैसे मैं भी कह रहा था कि जब सारा भाई और उनके मित्रों ने ये कार्यक्रम प्रारंभ किया तो सोवियत यूनियन और अमेरिका जैसे देश चांद की धरती पर मानव को उतारने की तैयारी कर रहे थे और हम गा रहे थे चंदा मामा वहां से लेकर के आके इस बीच में क्वांटम जंप। और पिछले कुछ सालों में या कुछ दिनों महीनों में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने जिस प्रकार से पहले की विडंबनाओं को नकार करके कुछ ऐसे निर्णायक कदम उठाए हैं जिसके लिए इच्छा शक्ति की आवश्यकता है, राजनीतिक नेतृत्व की इच्छा शक्ति विद ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ पॉलिटिकल लीडरशिप, उसका प्रदर्शन करते हुए उन्होंने स्पेस सेक्टर को प्राइवेट सेक्टर के लिए खोल दिया। जैसे आपने भी देखा होगा, आपको भी बहुत कम ऐसे अवसर रहते थे कि अनुमति मिलती थी कि आप श्रीहरिकोटा जाकर के लॉन्चिंग देख सकें। 1-1.5 साल पहले जैसे कि मीडिया ने रिपोर्ट किया अनलॉकिंग ऑफ स्पेस सेक्टर, उसका परिणाम यह है कि आज 1-1.5 साल के भीतर हमारे पास लगभग 60 स्टार्टअप्स रजिस्टर हो चुके हैं इसरो में, और हर आयु अवस्था के 16-17 बरस से लेकर के युवा अवस्था तक और देश के हर प्रदेश से और भिन्न भिन्न प्रकार के स्टार्टअप इस तरह के विषयों को लेकर के जो बहुत आधुनिकतम है, ये स्पेस डेब्री का विषय जिसकी हम आज बात कर रहे हैं, उसको लेकर के भी स्टार्टअप्स अपने प्रस्ताव प्रपोजल दे रहे हैं, नैनो सैटेलाइट को लेकर। और जहाँ तक आज के कार्यक्रम का संबंध है, एक नई पहल करते हुए, एक ऐतिहासिक पहल करते हुए, जो आने वाला समय की हमारी चुनौती रहेगी, स्पेस डेब्री, स्पेस ट्रैफिक। जैसे बंगाल के सड़कों में ट्रैफिक जाम लगता है, ऐसे धीरे धीरे अंतरिक्ष में भी जाम लगने की संभावनाएं बन रही। तो यदि आप अंदर जाकर के पर्दे पर देखें तो आपको अनुमान होगा कि भारतवर्ष के ऊपर कितने सारे सैटेलाइट्स घूम रहे हैं और उनका कचरा, डेब्री और बहुत सारा निकला हुआ कुछ और हिस्से हमारे किसी ना केवल वो सिक्योरिटी का।
There is a general understanding that this debris shall not cause damages or collateral, and we help each other to predict how it will land and which all area is likely to cause. But then accuracy of prediction is poor even now because a lot of science has to evolve. So still everybody is cooperating. We get the information from various nations on how the rockets are re-entering. We make calculation to predict, but sometimes it goes 100 kilometers away. So, but still we make sure that these debris are returned to the original people when they are claiming it. So such agreements are already there.
Sir, as rightly pointed out by Minister Sir, how India will be playing a role in terms of taking down this entire pollution we see in space, and it is becoming like a international issue. So how is India going to play a role?
No, I think this what has happened today is actually a step in that direction. And as I said, in many ways, particularly in the space sector, I am proud to say India is now taking a lead and dropping cues for others to follow. Like for our Mangalyaan, which was envisaged for hardly 6 months or 3 years, now it's been there for 6 years, and the inputs from there are being procured by NASA. So similarly, what India has initiated today is also going to motivate the other countries to follow, and they are also actually on the same page as far as this is concerned. India was hardly, in that domain. Now we are more than 25,000. So it's just like Bengaluru, and it was known as Garden City in 1957. There was hardly any motor car here. And one train traveling from Madras to Bengaluru on the weekends. So it's now like same situation has happened here also. So you could visualize what is happening outside is happening up also.
सर, जैसे आपने कहा था कि सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट भी है, तो उसे जो है किस तरह से डील किया जाएगा?
निश्चय ही सिक्योरिटी, मिलिट्री और स्ट्रेटेजी वैल्यूज के ही हैं, लेकिन अभी तक संयोगवश कुछ इस प्रकार की चुनौती वाला विषय नहीं बना कि कंफ्लिक्ट सिचुएशन जिस तरह से आप सोच रही, लेकिन कभी हो जाए तो उसकी संभावना को भी ध्यान में रखना पड़ेगा. It's not only three. You are involving all the countries where more and more participants are entering into this domain, not specifically related to them, but of course when required, they get in touch with each other.
Yes, yeah, this is being discussed in global level, like for example UN Corpus. Such forum we discuss this issue. It's also discussed in forums like International Astronautical Federation, IAA. Such forum, there are bodies looking at debris and how to mitigate them. But satellite has to go. Technology changes, more satellites will anyway go, more debris will be created. But how big nations can come together to solve this problem is very, very important. So that's what we have to. When the real issues are being now taken up, we look at solutions. So one of the solutions is what we are doing today.
Okay, maybe someday that will also happen. I was actually discussing. I said we should try to bring something. But we have certain devices based on laser, based on electromagnetic, which go and capture debris.
सर सेल्फ फिटिंग टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में भी बात हो रही है क्योंकि
R&D is there.
So we are also making the reusable vehicles, right? So how that will also be, much important in terms of this thing, sir?
Well, reusable may not be, I think not directly related to the debris. It's only once it comes back into the water that you again. Is that?
Yeah, precisely.
But as long as it's in the space, वो थोड़ा बहुत जो छोड़ेगा.
It's an object there.
It's an object.
Yeah.
No
If
difference.
you are reusable after it's come back, यानी आपकी गाड़ी जब वापस लौट आई तो आपने उसमें पेट्रोल डाला, पुरानी वाली गाड़ी में पानी डाला, सफाई की, उसको सुबह के लिए तैयार किया. लेकिन जब वो घूम के आई है सड़क में तो वहाँ उसने तो ट्रैफिक जाम किया ही किया.
For example, these two events which happened in Gujarat and Maharashtra, there was a prediction, but the prediction was that it will fall in sea, but it actually came to the land. So it was off by almost 300 kilometers. So that is the type of error in this business. And we have collected all items. We found out which rocket of which country we can understand that. We did all analysis to prove it belongs to this country, belongs to this rocket. All that we have understood. We have photographed. All evidences are there. And we will discuss further on that, what to do with that. But then the issue here is how to predict it accurately, what you mentioned, so that we can warn people. If some zones are going to be vacated, we have to improve this. Lot of mathematics, lot of aerodynamics, lot of studies are required with that. So this is precisely this people here will continue to do.
Because to a lesser or a greater extent, this is bound to happen. It's not that you can 100% make it, debris proof. One reason why China debris was seen in a larger quantity of plate was that suddenly the number of their launchings was higher compared to other countries. But as you said, the treaty and the other understanding is already there in place. कल उत्तर प्रदेश में कोई महिला आई तो बोले कि साहब आपने सुना कि एक महिला को आप भेज रहे हैं। मैंने कहा हाँ भेज रहे हैं कि आपकी जैसी महिला नहीं है, वो रोबो महिला है। बट आई एम ग्लैड कि उससे इतना उत्साह लोगों में जिज्ञासा पैदा हुई है। इट इज स्पेशली कपल ऑफ जर्नलिस्ट हु आर आल्सो इंक्लूडेड में जर्नलिस्ट यही पूछ रहा है कि साहब सुना महिला जा रही है, तो वायो मित्र है हमारी रोबो, फीमेल रोबो हो जाएगी और ट्रायल करके आएगी। ये देखिए कितना कितना विश्वास हमने रखा फीमेल रोबो कि जब वो परख कर आएगी वापस उसके बाद ही हमारा करने आ जाएगा। हमारा विलंब हो गया कोविड की वजह से, नहीं तो सोचा तो ये था कि इसी 15 अगस्त के इर्द गिर्द 75वें साल में ही ये हो जाता लॉन्चिंग, अब अगले साल तक हो पाएगा। ये आपका कहना ठीक है, हमारी प्रतिभा, हमारा टैलेंट बहुत ज्यादा है, पैसा भी चाहिए। लेकिन मैं ये कह रहा था कि तभी मैंने ये कहानी शुरू की कि आप तब सोचिए कि सारा भाई ने जब शुरू किया होगा तब तक तो आप तो चंदा मामा दूर पे गाने थे और वहाँ चंद्रमा पे आदमी तो हमारी जो कमिटमेंट है दैट फार मेक्स अप फॉर मेनी अदर सोर्सेज। लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री मोदी के आने के बाद बजट में भी इजाफा हुआ है, वृद्धि हुई है, चाहे वो गगनयान का बजट था, चाहे हमारा रेगुलर बजट था, और बड़ी आउट ऑफ बॉक्स कुछ एक निर्णय हुए। अब जैसे अनलॉकिंग हुई स्पेस की, अब अनलॉकिंग हुई स्पेस की तो नए स्टार्टअप्स आने शुरू हुए, नए हमने प्राइवेट सेक्टर के साथ कोई प्रोजेक्ट शुरू किए, तो पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? आप ठीक है, तो उसका एक तरीका निर्माणित किया गया कि जो हमारी न्यू स्पेस इंडिया लिमिटेड है उसको कुछ एक सैटेलाइट उनको दीजिए कि अब ये तुम्हारा सरमाया, तुम्हारा एसेट है, और तुम उस सैटेलाइट के माध्यम से जो आपकी टीवी चैनल्स को देंगे वो उसका जो उसको मिलेगा लीज रखेंगे जो वो भी उन्हीं के खाते में जाएगा। तो कुछ एक तरीके निरंतर इस प्रकार के तलाशे जा रहे हैं कि एसेट्स में वृद्धि हो, जो फाइनेंशियल एसेट्स है। भले ही बात आपकी ठीक है कि कंस्ट्रेंट तो रहती है कुछ एक दूसरे देशों में। There are 2-3 mechanisms. You may not be able to clear it fully 100%, but they seek to clear. आप बता दें लेजर है जैसे कोई आपको पता नहीं, कोई आपके हेल्थ वीट का करने वाले होंगे, आंख में लेजर का करते हैं जब कुछ फ्लोटिंग बॉडीज आती हैं, कुछ इस तरह से यही टेक्नोलॉजी वहाँ भी। बट यू कैन एक्सप्लेन।
That is, if a satellite life is over, you have to re-enter it to Earth, and so that we burn out. This is the first step. So we are insisting by rule, and government will be forced to provide facilities by a different satellite will be deorbited. This is first thing. No, let me complete. Second thing is, if it is a geosynchronous orbit, then it cannot come back to Earth. So it has to be moved to a graveyard orbit. So this is second point. So there are companies and startups now, even in India. For example, I tell you, DrJitendra, this is a company who is going to work on these type of technologies. They are trying to find out how satellites are evolving, how debris can be removed. They are going to work on it. And many other companies are coming up with the mechanism. If you order on them, I want to deorbit the satellite, they will come and deorbit. So this companies are now coming up to offer services to move a non-working automobile. If it is on the road, no, somebody will tow away. Some tow away concepts are coming. Similarly, there are mechanisms to go with graph by net and then bring it back, and or refuel and refunction it. There are so many such techniques.
ये जो आप कह रहे थे पैसा कहाँ से आएगा, उसका ये भी तरीका माध्यम ढूंढा गया है। प्राइवेट पब्लिक पार्टिसिपेशन अब शुरू हुई है, ये एक डेढ़ से नया फिनोमेना स्पेस में। अब जैसे इन्होंने बताया चेयरमैन साहब ने कि प्राइवेट कंपनी आके आपकी गाड़ी की सफाई करेगी।
Bhutan is a very cooperative movement. We want to develop space ecosystem in Bhutan. So we are not only launching one satellite for Bhutan, they are part of the building of the satellite. Scientists from Bhutan has come to ISRO, they have worked with us, they have developed the satellite, they are trained on the ground stations, and even today they are in Ahmedabad undergoing training for how to make use of the satellite. So our effort is to develop a space activity and ecosystem in Bhutan for the purpose of Bhutanese government and users. So we will continue this work with all our neighbors.
Sir, yes, and to add to it,
ऐसा है कि कैमरा ऑन
satellites
करके
and
भाई साहब
also
इसी के बारे में पूछ रहा हूँ, कैमरा ऑन करके बोल रही है कि आप लोग उसको गाली दी थी। मुझे लग रहा है कि स्पेस सेक्टर हैज वर्चुअली एंटर्ड एवरी इंडियन हाउसहोल्ड इन द लास्ट 5-7 इयर्स। ये एक बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है, क्योंकि पहले स्पेस सेक्टर की जब बात होती थी तो श्रीहरिकोटा की छोटी सी न्यूज आती थी कि रॉकेट लॉन्च हुआ, किसी को पता नहीं श्रीहरिकोटा कहाँ है क्या हुआ। अब तो आप जो कुछ कर रहे हैं, ये जो आप पकड़ के बैठे हैं, ये भी स्पेस सेक्टर का ही कमाल है। तो इवन हमारा कम्युनिकेशन बहुत हद तक, बड़ी मात्रा तक, लगभग 100% इस पर निर्भर हो गया। एंड आई एम ग्लैड हाउ दी मेनी ऑफ दी टीवी चैनल्स आर यूजिंग आवर ऑल ऑफ देम नाउ। पहले वो थोड़ा सा था उनको कि शायद हो पाएगा नहीं, तो धीरे धीरे एक ने किया, दूसरे ने किया, एंड वी हैव स्ट्रक अ वेरी गुड अंडरस्टैंडिंग आल्सो विद them. It was not so many years ago.
I will tell you, sir, it is all the indigenous DTS transponders are provided through ISRO only even now, but we lease some of the foreign satellites to provide the service wherever there is a shortage. The most important test we are scheduled this year, and we are going to conduct a crew abort test. That means we will launch and intentionally create an abort, then bring back the crew module and land in sea using parachute. So this test will happen this year to demonstrate the full crew escape system.
when exactly, sir?
We are currently targeting around September-October timeframe.
Somnath is one of the scientists, before he took over as chairman, has been actively involved in this project. He was the one who very vociferously flagged off that while sending up, also think of bringing him back.
Correct.
And that was widely reported. But nevertheless, I have to thank you and compliment you कि पहली बार ऐसा अनुभव हुआ है बहुत लंबे समय के बाद कि मीडिया के मित्रों ने उसी विषय पर चर्चा की जिस विषय को लेकर के उनको आमंत्रित किया गया।